Hey guys, so it's time for day 5. So, Jel and me, I'm in a terrible mood. Why am I so unhappy? No, I'm getting happier. Hopefully I don't break though. Hopefully I don't go completely insane, and murder everyone. That would be kind of sad. We're half a day away though about me forgetting about those 5 people that me and Fox violently murdered. So that's nice. At least we're no longer going to be sleeping in the ground. We're not quite in the cold, although it's definitely not warm. Fox is still jealous of the better room that she herself has. We'll deal with that later, see if that actually is a glitch, but for the moment it's not. I guess we'll just start with me. So today there's not a lot else that we need to do. I'm gonna need to start researching so we can start building tables and shit. We need to get the dogs and stuff trained up. We have enough food that we should be okay for a few days. Yeah, we have a decent number of food, so we're going to be good for like 3 or 4 days. I'm also going to save while I'm explaining this to you. So, there's not a lot that we need to do today, so I'm just going to let it play through at normal time, and I'm just going to go through and introduce you to each of the forumers so we know who the fuck we're talking about. For those of you who don't hang out on the forums constantly like I do. So this is me. I'm about to break. As it turns out, I'm apparently the least sane among us. We're not going to talk about the gear that we have. We're just going to talk about the stuff that makes us special. Switch to the character. There we go. So, my backstory, my childhood, I was a mad scientist. You can read that if you want to, but basically, I'm one of those people that people screwed with me. I invented things to screw with them back, and I started murdering people and, gone insane, crazy. Yay, but at least I'm really good at stuff. And then I became an aerospace engineer, and I was the one who owned the charter flight, which was the ship that was going by this planet way out in the middle of nowhere. We were going out to travel from one place to another place, and other backstory things that I haven't made up yet, but I'll be getting to later. But well, I was basically the pilot of the ship that ended up crashing here. Well, maybe not the pilot, but I was the owner of it, and something about being an aerospace engineer. My traits: I'm too smart, which means I learn things a lot faster. It also means I go crazy a lot sooner. That sort of explains the whole going crazy right now thing. I'm apparently very well endowed, and I have an iron will, so I'm not quite as insane as your generic too smart mad scientist would be, but I'm pretty insane. I'm pretty good at things. I can't do anything with plants. I'm also not artistic at all, which is kind of strange, as the actual me in reality is very artistic, but we can just forget about that. I'm also not very good at fishing. But hey, at least I'm good at talking to people and I'm a great shot, so fuck you all. The next person we have is, we're just going to go straight to Fox. Fox is my forum wife and basically the second in charge of the family. She, for some reason, landed with a bunch of foxhide t-shirts and other clothing. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. I also don't know where all these assault rifles and shotguns came from either. We'll talk about that later. But she's a much better shot than I am. She's also very good in melee, which I don't remember being responsible for. But she is. Shit, she's pretty much good at everything. In RimWorld, the skill system goes from 0 to 20, but it's very rare that you ever find someone very far over 10 on any skill. It's also pretty rare that you find people that are this good at everything. But what can I say? We're very special people. So, Fox was a shut the fuck up pickle. Fox grew up on an urban world, which is one of the larger worlds. It's basically one of the city planets. And she really liked machines. She really hated people. And then she escaped, and she ended up becoming captured, and she became a test subject in some really, really just ridiculous stuff. And she's part cyborg basically, but we'll deal with that later. All of the important, fun, fleshy bits are all fine. Trust me, I know. But she's incapable of intellectual tasks because she's afraid of scientists because of the whole test subject thing. It doesn't make sense to me either, but I just accept the fact that she's the goofy little person she is. She's jealous prone, which is the whole, jealous of other people's rooms being better than hers, even though she's in the best room thing. Yeah, that's probably from that. She also doesn't give a shit about murdering people. She, in fact, enjoys it because she's just, that kind of person. She's also well endowed. uh, I'm not responsible for that at all. What are you talking about? I guess we can just go through our children next, I guess. Or should I get to them last? Hey, Otto's finally building some Shvrolski's bed. So I guess we can go Shvrolski next. He's my brother, and we like to call him Creepy Uncle him. I know how to pronounce his name. I haven't fucked it up too bad that many times. I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I fucked it up terribly all these times. So my creepy uncle Smolsky, he did some stuff. I don't remember. Oh, he was an idealistic cadet. Oh, yeah, I remember that. He ran off at an early age to join the military, and then he was a soldier for a while, and that's actually kind of it. He's also a psychopath. I can't. I mean, that really sums it up, doesn't it? He's also a cannibal. Sabowski was taught that eating human meat is wrong and horrible, but one time, long ago, he tried it, and he liked it. He's also abrasive. So being a sociopath, he doesn't like talking to people, and he doesn't get any good mood benefits from talking to people. And being abrasive, he pisses people off when he talks to them, so that's why we put him in his own little room over here in the corner, and then we just leave him alone. We can do Pickle next. I guess he's my oldest sibling. He's adopted. Well, he's not adopted. He's mine from a past marriage with someone who Fox violently murdered. there's not really any other way that we can word it. He was a feral child. He grew up. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, he was a feral child who grew up. You know, I had an affair with a woman when I was 1 year old because when I was 2 years old because he's only 2 years younger than me. I had an affair with this woman on a... Alright, so basically something I need to point out. You can see there are the two ages. There's the first age and the second age. The second age is how old you are based on actual passage of time. That's your biological age. Because traveling between the stars takes a long time, you get put in cryotubes. So your actual age ends up becoming desynced from your biological age because you spend so much time basically not aging, frozen in tubes. And because I've been traveling so long, that's why all my children have nearly caught up to me in age. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, basically, I had an affair with a woman on some very, very, basically like this, a RimWorld, where basically it's just a tribal society. It was way off the beaten path. And that's where Pickle grew up, and he became the hunter of the king. Pickle was forced to protect his colony in the name of the king after a mysterious outbreak of murderous, genetically modified wildlife. Despite his best efforts, his kingdom was destroyed. Pickle developed post-traumatic stress disorder, a hatred of animals, and a bad case of technophobia. He was named for the place they found him. That's why we call him Pickle. He was found in a giant pickle. And despite the fact that it says he hates animals, he's actually really good at taking care of animals. So he's the one we put in charge of taking care of the animals. So he's iron-willed. So Pickle is our good, probably never going to go insane person. Ignore the green hair. Other than that, he's completely stable, and he's probably going to be the last sane person left on the colony, which might help or hurt his outlook. So basically, he's very happy. See, look at how happy he is, despite the fact that it's terrible and he slept in the cold and he ate off the ground. He's still very happy, because he's my happy little Pickle, and hopefully he's never going to go insane. So we have at least one person to pick up the pieces of all the other people. So who haven't I? Joust. He's my middle child, and the first of two children with Fox. He's only 16 at the moment. He's a scout, basically. Fox had him, and then we decided to kick him out of the house almost immediately, and he tried to join the military, wasn't really strong enough to cut it in the military, so he ended up becoming a state engineer, meaning he was employed by the government, and it worked. He built weapons and stuff for the government for a while, and then we asked him to come on this family vacation with us, and then we ended up here, so, oops. Yeah, he's a violent lover. He inherited Fox's bloodlust, so he does really enjoy murdering people. And he's pretty tough too, so him and Pickle are probably going to be the last two people. So my youngest, Polar, who's still in a full suit of power armor for some reason. I don't know why either. We're going to ask her about that later, but she's also Fox's, but we abandoned her not abandoned. We gave her to Pickle so Pickle could raise her on his tribe world. And, I mean, that was that. And she ended up becoming the lore keeper of the tribe. And then the whole of their tribe getting massacred by genetically modified animals that I might have been responsible for. I might not. We'll never know. But anyway, I went and I saved those two and brought them with us. So Polar is very optimistic, a little ignorant. Not ignorant. That's the wrong word. Innocent. Very, very. That doesn't, you know. But she's also quite neurotic, which means she works faster, but she also breaks earlier. And she's a jogger because she can run fast. So a fast little thing. Again, I'm not sure what the power armor's for. I don't know. But anyway, so that's Polar. Polar's boyfriend, I guess. Are they married? Fuck it, they're married. So Polar's husband. She's married at 15, but whatever. She's biologically 15, but she's actually 105. So she's married to this 106-year-old Blue Jay, who we call Gel because I don't know. You're going to have to ask him. And yes, his first name is Blue. His last name was Jay until he married Polar. Which all my children share my last name because they're, I mean, that's just how it works. So Gel also grew up in the tribe, and he dug holes. I mean, that's it. He was the digger. He dug things. It's a really fancy way of saying he was in charge of the graves. He was a gravekeeper. Oh, there's a zombie outbreak nearby. I've been scattered reports of zombie outbreaks in nearby towns. We better prepare ourselves because they could be coming here next. Hey, we all have guns. We'll be fine. I haven't been paying any attention to all of what's been happening, by the way. I mean, we have colonists that aren't doing things. Thing hasn't popped up yet, I hope. So hopefully they're all still being productive. Yeah, we're really going to need to... I'm not sure what we need to do, but we're getting towards the end of this night, so I guess we should hurry up. So anyway, it's Blue Jay Deckard. He's him. He's very sad. Very sad. I mean, he's always sad. But at least he's a good worker, and he doesn't break too early, so despite the fact that he's always sad, look at how sad he is. He at least doesn't go insane too early. Although he probably will. Who haven't I introduced yet? That was all my family. Oh, and we have Autobahn and Ben with us, who are not related to us at all. Otto's also black. I decided that someone should probably not be white, and I don't actually know what race Otto is, so he's black now. And by he, I mean she. Because Otto and Ben are both women and they're lesbians, despite the fact that they're both actually guys, but just don't ask. Unicorns on the internet, they're not real. Anyway, so Autobahn he survived an apocalypse at a young age. What did Ben? They both did. Both Ben and Otto survived an apocalypse at a young age near the world that I may have accidentally unleashed a genetic plague that turned all the animals into monsters that ended up wiping out Polar and Pickles' their entire world. Might have had something to do with that. I might have been the cause of that apocalypse, but we'll never know. It's not important. Don't worry about it. And they both became combat engineers because they like shooting at things and they like repairing things. Despite the fact that both of them are pretty shitty at crafting. We're just going to ignore that. And I don't know why the game froze for a minute there. Hey, we have visitors. His name is Steppy Shepherd. Sheppy the Shepherd has come to say hey. It appears that there are actually people around this area. Oh, and notice how he guessed. Nope. We'll have someone go talk to him to try and prove their faction relation, just to see if they, get pissed at us or something. He has a medic's bandana and a Desert Eagle. He got a gun that's really big, but otherwise rather shitty. But you see how he doesn't have a thing? This guy's never been in a cryo freezer before. So apparently that means that this is a very low-tech, very, very low-tech world, which I'm a little sad about, the whole being stuck in a low-tech world thing, but we'll be fine. Where'd I end up? Oh, I'm visiting the grave. There's only 2 people in graves. Why are there only 2 people in graves? There should be like 50 people in graves. We haven't buried everyone else yet, but we're working on it. Hey, it's a snowman. Polar likes making snowmen for whatever reason. A little set of large snowballs piled and shaped to resemble a person. Just in case you didn't know what a snowman was. We now know. So, we talked about Otto. Bane, again, Bane has basically the same backstory. They've been together forever. They're just weird people like that. Otto is an optimistic, very neurotic, and likes flirting with people because he's a slut. And Bane has a massive penis despite being a woman, is a drug addict, and also loves murdering people. So we have three violent murderers. But hey, at least we're all friends. To an extent. Shut the fuck up, Pickle, for the love of God. Alright, so this is the end of the 6th day. I mean the 5th day. This is the end of the 5th day. I have no idea what happened because I was talking about the family the entire time, but now you know everyone. All 9 of us are weird people. Oh, and we have Pig. Our pet pig, which represents Piglet, who decided that he didn't want to be a person and is going to be our first. He's going to live forever. He's 1 year old. Pigs have a life expectancy of 12. We're probably not going to last more than like 3 years, so he's probably going to be with us the entire time until we get hungry and eat him. And we already know Desolation. I can't pronounce her name. Well, I can pronounce her name, but I couldn't read her name at first because I'm retarded. And my room wolf that I brought with us, Camus, and Fox is Fox. Yuckum. The Yukity-Yuk, the Yuk-the-Duke. And apparently all of the animals like Fox. Hey, you two are mine, alright? You're my wolves. My wolf. I don't know who gets to take care of Pig. So I'll see you guys next time. That's the end of day 5. And now that we know everyone, we can get back to building things and making this place a little less shitty. And then we're going to figure out why the fuck I'm not researching things, because we seriously need some... We need to research how to build tables. It's important that we get a table together so everyone stops being sad about the whole eating off the ground thing. Also, the whole ugly environment thing might be... We might fix that at some point. Although the couples just have to deal with the fact that they're sharing bedrooms. I mean, that's how couples work. You just stupid people. So I'll see you guys next time. Day 6 coming up.